Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. This is Kristin Odell of KLO. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm so good. How are you today?
Good. I'm glad to see that you're not sunburned after such a cool weekend.
No, I have a lovely bronze going on from a long weekend of playing in the sun.
I'm so happy that the weather worked out this weekend too. You know, we had that full week of it was rain, it was rain, it was rain, it was rain. And then just in time for the holiday, it ended up being this incredible weather that was warm, well into the night.
I feel like maybe for you and I, we would feel like it was incredible. For people who maybe don't have air conditioning or, just don't tolerate heat, I feel like it might have been a miserable weekend. I don't know. What do you think? I loved it.
It's true. My son is more of a polar bear, and he said his favorite temperature is 0. So, you're right. You're right. For him, it was more miserable than fun.
Right. But yeah, I mean, so many people I saw just on Facebook and texting and sharing over the weekend, sharing pictures of being outside and enjoying fireworks and swimming and just kind of all kinds of amazing things. So how fun.
Yeah. Morning, Mary. Mary said that she got a bit sunburned, even with sunblock, but what a great fun weekend. I agree. I loved it. I saw a great picture that Mary posted. She must have been going down to the lighthouse tour or some of the festivities, like a spangled red, white, and blue hat. That was kind of fun.
Nice. Yeah. So I personally wasn't in town this weekend, but I talked to a couple of people at the gym this morning that were here and just said everything that was along the lakeshore over the weekend was amazing. And that there was so many different things to do. Every spot, what is the hotel down by the lake now? I'm just blanked.
The Baymont.
The Baymont. Thank you. The Baymont had stuff. The Maritime Museum had stuff. The YMCA, every place along the lake, the yacht club, there were all these amazing things to do. And they just so enjoyed walking around and taking in everything that was there.
It's true. It was really cool, and it was also really well coordinated. So when the wharf had a band, there wasn't a competing band across the river. But then when the band across the river was playing, there wasn't another one competing. It was really well timed so that people could be everywhere and enjoy everything. And it's funny because I got this great picture. So this was a band called Rising Phoenix, and it was in the parking lot of the Maritime Museum. It was one of the last bands on Sunday night. I love the picture. They were playing AC/DC and Motley Crue, not my type of music at all. But when it's live music, look at these guys performing. They were having so much fun and doing such a great job. My son was like, "Mom, that's Thunder by AC/DC," and you're jamming. I'm like, it's just so cool when people are playing live music, right?
Right. Well, first of all, kudos on that shot because it is super cool. It's just that drum set is just glowing in that picture. It looks so amazing. And second of all, who doesn't love some live music outside? It almost doesn't matter what it is if you're outside and enjoying it. And my middle Josie absolutely loves AC/DC and classic rock. So she would have loved that. So did you have to be a groupie to get that shot, or was there just an easy way for you to sneak behind and take the picture?
Honestly, I was just walking down the sidewalk that's between the river and the Maritime Museum.
Sure.
And I had no idea. And all of a sudden I looked, I'm like, oh my God, we're look at this. We can see the band from behind too.
Sure.
So it was just serendipitous, but yeah, I did not have to finagle to get there or anything. And it's really a testament too to when people are passionate and good at what they do, it's enjoyable no matter what.
Right. I feel like we should take that band after the show today so they can see that incredible shot you have.
That's a good idea.
Tina Prigge photography over the put a watermark on it.
You're funny. You're so funny. Hey, we were talking about sunburns and not getting sunburned. So this is Jason, and he put on shorts. He almost never wears shorts, and I love the fact that he's wearing shorts. And this is at Nashotah Beach. We were having some fun in the water. But on the 4th of July, he was leading tours out to the lighthouse. His legs are like a lobster. They are so red.
Oh, no.
He actually has like a line from where the socks were, and so it looks like he's still wearing socks because his feet are so white and his legs are so red.
You said we have to like put lotion on those spots and then lay out with things opposite of it to like even it out now.
Yep.
What was it, just like the level of the heat and the fact that he was going to be active, that like what made him decide to wear shorts on that particular day?
I don't know what flipped the switch for him to realize that long black pants might not be the best in the summer, because he wears them all the time. So, you know,
I've always wondered, like he
I
always
dragged him
has
to
like
the
a vest and a dress shirt on, like the whole like, yeah. Okay, you go.
Oh no, he just doesn't love like the feeling of wearing shorts. But I did drag him to the beach to walk in the water with me one day, and he had his pants on. And then he's like, okay, I'll get him wet, right? And then afterwards, his pants were soaking. So I don't know if that helped convince him to wear shorts.
There you go. When you say he doesn't like the feeling of shorts, my first mind was like, you mean you don't like the feeling of cool breeze and fresh air on your lower extremities?
Maybe it just feels too exposed, or like too, I don't know. But speaking of shorts, I know we can't see him in this picture. Tell us what's going on here, Kristin.
So this is the 4th of July. We were up north on Boulder Lake with my amazing aunt and uncle. They shared their little cottage with us for the weekend. And yes, you cannot see in this picture, but Doug is actually wearing a 4th of July romper. It zipped from the waist all the way up to the neck, although he's working his best David Hasselhoff chest cheese because he has a lot of chest hair. So why not show it off, right? But yeah, he wore it all morning. We had to prepare breakfast. He wore it to prepare breakfast that morning and then switched into his trunks for beach time. But then later in the evening, brought it back for sitting by the fire. So it was really, really funny and very patriotic.
It's awesome. And it actually looks like it would probably be very comfortable too.
He said it was extremely comfortable. When I bought it, he thought I was crazy, but I thought, oh, I got the new swimming suit. The kids all had gear. Like, why not be festive together? Yeah. So
okay, that is a good point. So he did not buy it for himself. You picked it up for him.
I just bought it and said, why don't you try it on and see? And then he said, you know, it is fairly comfortable. And I was like, it's up to you. You know, it's your choice. I'm not going to make you do it. But yeah,
it's awesome. He totally, like, look at how you guys are totally rocking this whole photo. It almost looks like it's a photo shoot for a magazine cover or something. It's just perfectly coordinated, the colors, the festiveness. You all have a perfect smile. I love this photo so much.
I'm glad you say that. My hair is definitely not photo ready, but that's up north look. This is lake hair and sun hair, and, you know, we rinse up at the end of the night quick to cool off and to clean up from being in the lake in the sand. But it's just so much fun. It's just good-hearted fun, playing outside and swimming and visiting. And
nice. So how did Josie get introduced to AC/DC?
Well, so Doug listens to classic rock. And so one of her, besides just listening to ACD in general, like one of her songs is, and I don't know what the real title is, Take Me Down to the Paradise City.
Oh, Guns N' Roses?
Yes, which again, probably not appropriate for a young lady, but she loves it and she like absolutely rocks out to it. And so, you know, when we can take in a band that plays that kind of music or turn music on outside here, it's often the classic rock station on Amazon or Pandora or whatever. So yeah.
Funny. That's cool. All right. Very cool.
Really.
Well, you know, your outfits make me think of this picture. I snapped this picture because this is something that makes me really happy at the end of the day. To me, it just encapsulates summer, right? Like when you have a swimsuit and you have towels that are drying because you've been at the lake or you've been swimming or playing out in the, you know, sprinklers, whatever it might be. At the end of the day, when you see this, it just makes me feel so happy.
Right. I know. I love that look. I love the little like soft light over the towels. And, you know, we definitely had one of those going up north. There was 15 of us total. So we had a very long clothesline with towels and swimming suits and bath towels and all the kinds of stuff. And it is fun. It's like a well-used day.
By the way, Mary said that Josie would love the glam band.
She would love glam band. She has not seen glam band. Doug and I have, but yes, sometime we do need to get her to the glam band. This
And
is
just
how we
backing up a little.
Or sorry, I was just
No,
saying.
I was just going to say. Sorry. Go ahead. I'll be quiet.
I was just going to say, this is where you always walk that fine line with kids, because she loves the music and we love that she loves the music. But then you're going and you're taking a child to maybe a place where there's typically a lot of adults, and, you know, so then you kind of walk that fine line of like, is this a good idea? So.
Yeah. You could use it as kind of a learning moment, you know, like pointing out like bad behavior, or, you know, like how to be careful in a situation like that. Or
You're right. I love it. Great idea.
Hey, this comment is going back to Jason's sunburnt legs. Connor is confirming that he is red. And Jason said that the reason is that he switched to shorts was the heat. So there we go.
I get it.
And then Mary suggests, Jason, that you use Noxzema to cool and soothe the sunburn.
Oh, interesting. I have not heard that before. Some friends of ours have a theory that if you don't wear sunglasses and you allow the sun to like come into your eyes, your body can actually regulate the melanin better. And so you won't get a sunburn, or your body will actually be able to handle the amount of sun, because it can accurately understand how much sun you're taking in.
What?
So
that sunglasses prevent that, and you can get more burned if you're wearing sunglasses potentially?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure there are skin cancer people out there flipping a lid right now on that comment, but yeah. And they don't.
It's a super interesting theory, actually.
Well, and these people don't, like, they very rarely wear sunscreen, and their kids are as brown can be. They don't get burnt. They don't get burned up here. So maybe if they went on vacation somewhere farther south, they would need to use it, but they don't, like, I don't know. Maybe you can get conditioned for it.
Interesting.
Maybe
well, I think too, depending on like, you know, your makeup,
mm-hmm.
You know, some people like are, you know, go from like pink to red without any browning in between.
Correct.
Whereas some people can get like just that beautiful olive, and then it continues into a nice deep tan.
Right. Right. And I get pretty brown, but like my mom has red hair and white skin, and she freckles, and she would absolutely burn regardless of, you know, what it is. But yeah, there's certain people, some people must have certain traits that can handle it better than others, obviously.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I'd like to know more about the sunglasses theory. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mary just also commented that eucalyptus is in Noxzema, which is also good for the burn.
Ah, there we go. Thanks for the tip, Mary. I love it.
Which apparently, did you know that koala bears don't ever drink water? They eat eucalyptus, which has so much water in it that they never actually drink water.
I have not. I don't think I've heard that before. That's super cool.
Yeah, that's an interesting fact from my teen. He loves to tell me stuff like that.
I actually feel like, I guess that's probably like eating watermelon, right? Like you could eat watermelon, maybe not all the time, but you would have super high liquid content in there.
Yeah, right. I suppose if you had watermelon, you wouldn't need to have a glass of water at the same time.
Right. Just another reason.
Pretend we're koala bears. Yeah. Hey, we were looking at Doug's romper and your cool outfits. When I was downtown on Saturday, these guys, this totally cool crew of guys, rolled up to take their picture in front of the fountain, and they all had Hawaiian shirts on, and they were headed towards Subfest. And I was like, you guys, can I please take your photo? They just looked so cool. The sun was hitting them just right. Like, don't they look awesome?
They do. And I'm trying to place, so they've got cuffed jeans on and like these boots. I'm trying to place like what era are they portraying here? Do you have any idea?
What I'm suspecting is I heard that there are World War II reenactors at the Maritime Museum for Subfest. And like, so the guy on the far right has a pith helmet, and then like you said, yeah, the rolled up jeans and like the flip back hat that he's wearing. Right. I'm suspecting that these guys might be the reenactors.
Sure. That's such a cool picture. Yeah, it's got a fun vibe to it. They look like they're having a good time. Like we're trying to be serious for the picture, but we're really having a good time.
Yeah, they were just too cool not to be having a good time. And I think, they probably loved the fountain. I saw so many people taking their picture by the fountain. What a great addition to downtown.
Yeah, it really is beautiful. And my girls noticed they have a new like floral metal tunnel there that looks really cool. The girls like got so excited. I don't know why kids are attracted to tunnels, but they are. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited about the fact that there was a tunnel there. And it just, it's a really, again, a cool way to kind of develop our downtown. And I already can see in that picture people hanging out and using their chairs in the background on, that's like stepped down there almost like an amphitheater. And so clearly people are already using that space to hang out and visit. And I mean, that's what it's meant for, is to have a beautiful riverfront.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So Vic Ferrari and the glam band were playing in the parking lot across the river. And so that whole parking lot was full, and yet people were gathered all along both sides of the river, totally making use of the amphitheater seating. It was such a cool feel.
Right. How fun. Way to go, Manage Walk.
Yeah. All right. And also, this picture is pretty cool.
Yeah. So I took this. I almost forgot I sent this to you. This feels like ages ago. This is last week, Wednesday night. My little girls were playing softball at the softball complex at CP. And we actually had a full double rainbow. My picture maybe didn't capture it quite as well, but you can certainly see the one loop. And then over on the left, you can see the beginning of the second rainbow. And we got poured on. Like, the kids had so much fun playing in the rain, but there was just this beautiful full rainbow over Manitowoc, kind of out to the east. So I had to snap a picture of it.
It's so beautiful. And I think you could see it from a lot of places, because I was driving with Teak and I pulled over. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at the beautiful rainbow. I'm like, and it's turning into a double rainbow. And you could literally even see the purple. Like, oftentimes you can't see the purple in the rainbow, but you can see the purple. And it was kind of a cool experience, because he's like, hey, Mom, do you want to just step back and look a little bit? And so I stepped back. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can see the whole thing. And so like, I pointed it out. I was totally fixated on just like the little branch of it. And then just by changing my perspective, you could see that it was a full arc of the rainbow. And yeah, you're right. There's a double rainbow that was starting around
it. You can see it. Yeah, it was really cool. And at certain points when it was still raining, like that one, the really strong, really colorful rainbow, you could look, depending on how the sun was shining or how it was raining, the colors were like doubling out from it, like the purple, and they were like doubling, or I don't even know how else to describe it. Like the rainbow itself, it wasn't like the next double rainbow. It was like the lines blurred and spread out and then added more rows in that main rainbow. I don't know. It was really, really cool and pretty.
Yeah, it was intense. It looked like one of those rainbows where you definitely could find the pot of gold at the end of it.
Hey, if anybody found that pot of gold, we want to know about it. We want to share it first.
That's right. That's right.
I have an inkling that if you had been down by the lake, I wonder if it had been over Lake Michigan.
I think it was, because I saw somebody post a picture from Two Rivers, and it was at Neshota Beach, and the rainbow was over Lake Michigan, and the pavilion that they have on the beach was perfectly centered in the middle.
Nice. Okay, well that tells the story. Yeah, because it was so cool.
Yeah, which is interesting that you could see it from so many different places. Like, knowing you could see it from where you were at the Diamond, and then I was way out by Culver's and that area in Manitowoc on the west side. And then if somebody else saw it in Two Rivers, that's going further north.
Right. Hey, when there's a beautiful rainbow, it cannot ever be too near or too far away. You have to take in the magic when you can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the lesson too, that sometimes if you change your perspective, you can see the whole thing rather than just the one leg of it.
Right. Well, when we were at the complex, we were kind of like sitting under the building, the overhang. We had lined all of our chairs up along the wall, and then we could see the end started. So Doug and I got up to walk out to kind of see where it was. And then we were like, hey, yeah, look at that. It is a full one. So it was worth getting out of our chairs for.
There you go, right? There you go.
Yes.
It's worth getting out of your chair to explore when something beautiful is happening.
That's right, which is all the time.
Hey, tell me about this. This is hilarious.
So this is at one of my clients. I'm helping them in the office right now, but we recruited somebody new in their office. And so when the front office ladies are not available, so one seat will be filled soon, and the other person that sits up there sometimes has to leave for lunch or to run errands. So I love the sense of humor of this. So basically you're saying the A team is not available, meaning the ladies that answer the phone and greet guests all the time. So please ring the bell to wake up the B team, meaning the guys who sit in the back office. And then they have this old cowbell that says, come and get it. And I just would really love to be there and like hide away when somebody actually has to come in and ring the bell. Like, I think it's so funny. So I had to take a picture of it. I'm going to share this on my business page today. Because like, let's be honest, people are struggling with labor right now. People are short in their office or in production, or just like, we're all struggling a little bit when it comes to work stuff. Right. And to have a little bit of sense of humor about it is a good thing. And, so I just thought, I laughed out loud when I got there last week, and I'm like, I have to take a picture of this before I leave.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's also awesome because it doesn't just say ring the bell to alert the B team. It's to wake them up. So there's a little bit of a dig in there too, right?
Right. Yeah. I love the fact that they even thought to label one team as the A team versus the B team. Like, I've kind of wondered, like, well, has the B team asked if they could come sit in the front seats and become part of the A team, or is that not allowed? So.
When it already tees up the person that has to ring the bell, okay, you're already at B-level service and they're waking up from a nap. So, you know what I mean? It kind of like tees you up for what to expect service-wise.
Right. So
don't get your hopes up.
Yeah. It caught me funny the day that I was there. I was like, this is fabulous. Like, what else are you going to do?
That's awesome. I think having that sense of humor with business is really valuable.
Right. Well, and I think that translates through your employees, when everybody's getting their work done, but when things can be jovial and light, it certainly helps, that work environment, and people can have fun there. And, one of my other jobs was to fill the candy jars and they have little trays of bowls that certain candy bars go in the freezer there, so they're chilled. So one of my jobs was to refill the trays in the freezer, but nothing caramel because those are too hard. So like, how fun is it? Doesn't that sound like a fun place to work?
Yeah, it sure does. Or at least visit. Like, we could go there right after the show, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Candy bars for breakfast.
I do have a sweet tooth, my goodness.
Do you? Did you eat any? So I heard that there was a lot of really good food trucks in town over the weekend. Did you have something that was just like so good that you want to talk about?
Actually, we went to Culver's and got ice cream sundaes, which we never do. And it was so nice. I always joke that for me, the ice cream is just the vehicle for the hot fudge. I love hot fudge. But so to have, like the chocolate custard and hot fudge, and then there were like Heath pieces on top, I was like, oh my God.
That sounds good. I know Culver's is right here in town all the time. Wisconsin-based company. So that's good. Heath pieces are one of those things that I forget about. And then every now and then we have them. I have a butter toffee cookie recipe that obviously has a ton of butter in, but it also has Heath pieces in it. And they are so good. And I never think to like buy them just for making sundaes at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I never think about making sundaes at home.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're just like, hey, it's a holiday. Let's go do this. And it was such a nice treat.
Good for you guys. Way to go and have a treat. We maybe had too many treats over the weekend, but that's okay too, because it's only 4th of July. We can recover.
And especially if you're being active outside, like you were up north.
Right. Yeah. Doug and I went for a walk one morning. That was really fun. And like I said, swimming in the lake, and yeah, it's all good.
Is the lake still cool even when it's hot, or does it warm up?
It was a little bit cool, but overall very nice. So you kind of had to like jump in, like it was a little chilly to get in, but once you were in, then it was beautiful. And we had a bunch of floaties and, different things. So you could just literally kind of hang out and float then once you were in. And the kids especially during the day, tended to wear life jackets because the lake was busy this weekend with boaters. So they kind of, they can just bob and like hang out in the water then and float around and running and jumping off the dock. And they did some fishing, which was really fun. So yeah, it was good.
That is awesome. Yeah, when we went down to Neshota Beach, when we first put our toes in, it's cold, right? Like it's but like in moments you're adapted to it and you're like, more, I want to go deeper and deeper.
Yes. And I mean, with Lake Michigan obviously being one of the Great Lakes, like they tend to stay cooler during the summer. They don't get super warm like an inland lake would. But it does always feel good, especially when it's so hot and muggy out.
And, it was interesting and fun to see so many people out and about enjoying all of the beaches. We drove past Red Arrow Park on the 4th of July. I have never in my life seen that many cars and that many people at Red Arrow Beach. It was incredible.
Well, they're raking that beach and really doing a nice job taking care of it. There's obviously the new playground there. There's the War Memorial there, which they've done such a beautiful job with. I also know that Lighthouse Recovery does like a dry event there for the 4th of July. They really encourage people to have a safe and kind of clean space to go and celebrate. And so, yeah, to hear that our parks, like our beautiful parks along the lakeshore are packed is really, really nice.
Right. And I think it's also just a relief and kind of heartwarming to see that people are able to gather and be together again. I mean, when we were in the midst of the pandemic, I remember driving around and there was just it was like a ghost town.
Right. Well, Tina, I have a picture, and we didn't talk about this last week. I don't think we talked about this last week, but you have a picture of my mom and dad and Doug and I. And so we went out for dinner. And so this is like a little over a week ago. My parents were married 42 years, like a week ago. So we took them out. This is at the old Elbow Room. And we went and had a wonderful dinner. But you kind of mentioned, that gathering, and the dining room was packed when we were there. The bar area was busy, and we just had such a nice dinner to celebrate their 42 amazing years of marriage. And my dad gave us his favorite quote, which is that they were celebrating 42 years in the holy sea of deadlock. He likes to call it, not wedlock. So, he's a sass sometimes, but yeah. So it is.
Wow, well, happy anniversary to your parents. That's a great picture.
Right? Yeah. So it is fun. We met there kind of last minute, and just so fun to see people visiting and enjoying good food. Like, again, another place that maybe tends to be a little bit off the beaten path or off the radar in town, but has always had great food. And we just had a really enjoyable night.
Interesting. I always remember my dad saying that the Elbow Room was my grandma's favorite place to go.
Oh, really? That is so cool.
And that goes way, way back. So
right. Yep. Yeah. We had wonderful steak, and my dad had ribs, which he said were amazing. So yeah, why not eat ribs for 42 years?
Speaking of good food, and you had asked what we'd had. Actually, Jason and I went and we checked out Bricks. I hadn't been there yet. Super cool inside. And I had a burger that had like a Door County cherry. Somehow it was dressed with like Door County cherry and feta cheese. It was so good. It was so good. Like, I was a little skeptical, but I love cherries. And so I'm like, I'm going to try this. If it's on the menu, they're not going to be serving it if it's bad. And it is not bad. It was really good.
No, that sounds good. And I mean, cherries with feta, I feel like is a match made in heaven. So why wouldn't the rest of it be delicious? I have not been there yet. Doug has been there with some buddies, but I have not been there yet. So I'm glad to hear that you had a good burger there.
Yeah, I would give it a thumbs up. And the fries were like some of the best I've ever had, possibly.
Nice. Yeah, they're kind of their staple is burgers, right?
It seemed like it. Yep. Like that seemed to be their focus.
Nice. Well, how fun.
By the way, Mary said happy anniversary to your parents.
Thank you. Yes. It takes a lot of patience and understanding to make it 42 years. So probably my mother's patience more than my father's patience, if you all know it.
Well, my parents are going to be celebrating 50 years this year, so it's kind of exciting. We're talking about having a little party, but it's funny, like what you said about the whole patience. My dad was getting some auto repair work done, and my mom called him and said, "Should I come pick you up so you're not like waiting there?" He's like, "Oh no, nobody's complaining at me here."
That's fine. He was probably drinking coffee and like watching TV somewhere and being completely content.
Yeah, probably.
That is hilarious.
Well, this is awesome. You guys, thank you so much for joining the chat with us. Kristin, thanks so much for talking to me all about the amazing place that we live and the cool 4th of July holiday. Happy anniversary to your parents. And I can't wait to talk to you next week.
Yay. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
We'll see you all next time on Coffee with Kristin and Tina.